Good morning, everyone. Got your coffee? I've got mine. So, listen, everyone. There are people that I need to say thank you to before I get started saying what I want to say. I need to say thank you so much to Kenya. Kenya, thank you so much. I love your name. I've always loved that name. One time, my two sons and I, when they were little boys, we were getting ready to go to Kenya. I've been saving up the money, saving up the money, saving up the money, and we were just about there. And then I ended up getting into some trouble, and I had to fight the corrupt legal system, racist ass legal system. But I did it, and I did so successfully. And it just goes to show how when black people do not have access, and when they have to be dependent upon public defenders, just how many black people go to jail and how easy it is for the jails to fill up with us. It just so happens that they assumed as a single mother that I couldn't afford to defend myself, and they came after me hard. And I didn't have a criminal record, never been in any trouble ever before in my life. And they came after me. That white woman prosecutor came after me so hard till at one point she didn't like the way that I played and tried to strong arm me into pleading guilty. And the white judge, he was a real kind of laid back guy. I'll never forget his name. It was Daniel Ryan. And he had to tell her that's her right. It's her right to plead the way she's choosing to plead. And she caught an attitude and everything, but everyone came after me. They came after me so hard. I couldn't believe that. Anyway, I didn't mean to talk about that. But anyway, we never did make it to Kenya, but I did stay out of jail. Okay. So anyway, listen. And also I have to say thank you to Tracy B. Tracy B for matching her prior donation, which was one of the biggest donations that the Library Pantry ever did see. And she especially wanted that money to go to us rebuilding our stock. Because we ran out of stock. As fast as things were coming in, they were going out during that little short, during those 3 weeks. It was crazy over here. It was crazy over here. But yesterday I went outside. I bundled up real good. I went outside. I put books in. I rearranged it. I got it all cleaned out and everything, straightened up. We back normal. Last night we closed it at 5 o'clock. I was so happy about that. I was praying nobody knocked on my door, because people will act like they don't understand the rules when you say, please don't bother the residents, the occupants of the house, and they'll do it anyway, asking for diapers or wipes or food or whatnot, or, and I try not to flip out, but I am always firm about that. Like one of the rules of the pantry is that you do not disturb the occupants. If what you want is not in there, you have to see about it tomorrow. So we're back on that. So I'll give it about a week of that, and then we should be normal again, and able to restock. Thank you so much for allowing me to be able to do this order. I appreciate you, Tracy. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. I was reading one of the comments. I want to piggyback off the conversation that we were having yesterday. And you all, I love the dialogue in the comments. Y'all were just awesome yesterday. It made me feel so validated by me being a black woman, not allowing myself to be stereotyped or cast. And I read this particular comment by one of my friends. Hey, friend, Frost Walker. You made this comment and you told this little story about how you and your daughter were in this hotel lobby, and about the white kid running by and the way the parents reacted. Well, honey, I got a story that will top that one. It's gonna cast me in a bit of a bad light, but I just want y'all to see things from my perspective, my point of view, if you will, because as a black woman, I am very, very much dedicated to, and the older I get, the stronger I get. This happened when I was not about 40. I was 40, because I remember I went to California for the first time on my 40th birthday, during my 40th birthday. And I went to go see my brother, my half brother. And we have same mother, different father. We were raised in the same house, but things, lots of water under the bridge now. And he kind of just, I haven't really thought of him as a brother in a long time. That was like actually right around when things started breaking apart for us, and it was one of the last visits that we had together. But I remember I went to California to see him, and he was taking me around. We were sightseeing. And one of the places that he took me to, now I have a problem with heights. I am terrified with heights. I don't think he knew that though, but I'm terrified of heights. So he went to go take me to the Hollywood sign. And so to get there, Californians chirp in and give me some validation here. When you go the way, at least the way he took, I believe there's only one way in and one way out. That's what I believe. You know, I've only gone the one time. But when we were going up to the Hollywood sign, there is a point where, oh, and those houses over there are so beautiful. Oh my God, if I had the money. Anyway, we're going up this steep, there's a steep incline, and it's like you're going up a mountain, right? And then at one point you get so high that, and mind you, there is literally nothing on the other side. So if the car falls or there's nothing to catch you, you're just dead. You're just dead, okay? And so once I started to realize that, you know, the scenery changed. When I tell you the way I put my foot up on the windshield and the dash, like, stop the car, stop the car, stop this car. And he's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do this. I can't do this. I look down and I'm on the passenger side too. And that's the side where the drop is on. And I'm like, I can't do this. And he was like, well, I can't go back down. And I'm like, he was like, just breathe in and out and you'll be okay. So anyway, we finally make it up there. Now, I don't trust him too much because, okay, here's a story inside of a story. Once upon a time, we were driving down the street. This is when we were in Michigan, because we both grew up in Detroit, Michigan. And that's where our family is. We were driving down the street. And he, as a driver, he has this habit. I don't know what's wrong with you people who do this, but he drives up close to the car in front of him. I'm a very considerate driver. If you want to get in, just give me a signal. I don't pull up on the back of your car. I don't try to make you go faster because I'm in a rush. I switch lanes. We all paying taxes on these raggedy streets. We all own them. That's the way I feel about it. I don't know what's wrong with you people that's got to drive up on the back of the car like that, but he does. But anyway, I told him, I said, why you keep driving up on the back of the car like that? And he was like, what you mean? And I was like, and he was like, I'm a good driver. I'm a great driver. You know how men are. So anyway, no sooner than we had this discussion, didn't he hit the car in front of him? He didn't really injure the car, but the car had some, what do you call those, gutters hanging out of like, it was such a long time ago. Either it was a pickup truck and the things were down or something like that. But somehow he ran into these gutters. And I had to pay the guy $60. I remember that part. $60 out of my purse to replace the gutters. And actually the guy was great about it. He really was. And so in my mind, my brother's not the greatest driver. So yeah, I don't really trust him with my whole life going up this steep incline. So anyway, we end up surviving the whole thing. We walk over to the Hollywood, towards the Hollywood sign. Now, mind you, the way you look at the Hollywood sign, we're across from it. And there's this, you're on a mountain, basically, this big, just fucking hill. And over the side of it is nothing but death. You're gonna fall. So we're up there and we're talking and we're having a good time and everything. You know, I'm taking pictures and everything because I'm a tourist. So these other people come. It's a white couple and they two little white kids, right? And it was a lot of room. And I'm one of those people, I always think it's really weird when other people crowd you like that. But for some reason, white people do this to black people. I don't know why, but they do. In movie theaters and parking lots, it's like they always got to be up under us, minding our fucking business. They're so fucking annoying in that way. So instead of going and getting there, finding their own part, their own area, they're right up under us. Now they got these two little kids, mind you. And the kids, I kid you not, I will put them at about 3 and 4 years old. They were both walking. One of them barely, not all that great. And, you know, and they're toddlers. So they're up there taking selfies and shit, right? And so me and my brother, we're kind of just standing there and we're looking at these kids teeter closer and closer to the edge. So he goes to stop the kids and I pull him back. I'm older by almost 6 years, mind you. And I pull him back because I know what this is. And, you know, you have to peel underneath those layers, you know, because I'm a black woman. And as a black woman, I have experienced this shit, these types of microaggressions for my whole life. I know where white people have cast black people, especially black women who look like me. Big, black, comforting looking black women. They expected me to watch their kids while they had a good time and took selfies. That was why they parked so close to us like they did. I'm not watching your kids. If you don't give a fuck about your kids, why should I? Why should I? And I know y'all gonna say, well, Gardner, that's kind of rough. Yeah, well, you know what? So is the way they treat us. So is the way they don't acknowledge us. So is the way they harm us. So is the way they think about us. So is their racism. All that shit. Their microaggressions, their macroaggressions. All that shit is harmful to me. They didn't say hello. They didn't greet themselves. They didn't introduce themselves. It's a mammy standing over there so she can watch them while we take our selfies. Now, am I the type of person that could watch two babies plunge off the side of a cliff? No, I'm not. So I told him, I said, you know, I'm pretty much done with this anyway, so let's go. Now, I kid you not. This is how you know it was what it was. As soon as we turned to leave, that was when she went and got her kids from the edge of that cliff thing. She really, really, really thought I was going to babysit her kids. They really thought that shit. They really thought we were going to watch their kids while they take selfies, y'all. It's a cliff. It's nothing but death on the other side. People in California, please chime in. It was nothing on the other side. Nothing to catch these kids. If they had a toddler right over the edge, they'd have been dead. And they were both just getting closer and closer and closer to the edge. And these people were fully aware. They were taking selfies. They were fully aware that there was nothing on the other side but death. Do you think they were trying to corral their kids or teach their kids better? No, they were not. Me, my kids, at this point, they were already grown. But pretty much. But my kids at that age, they knew better than that. Even at 3 and 4, my kids knew better than that. They knew to hold mommy's hand. They know not to go but a couple of steps ahead of me, if that. Excuse me. They knew. My kids knew. My kids knew better. And the fact that they weren't teaching their kids better, and 2, weren't even trying to corral their own children, what the fuck you want me to do? I'm not playing mammy to some stranger's kid. Soon as we turned to leave, that was when they went and got their kids. Soon as we turn and they notice we walking back to our car and there are not 2 more sets of eyes on their kids, that was when they went and got their kids. I don't know what the fuck people were thinking, but that was actually a true thing. I kid you not. That happened. You had to see it to believe it, because I couldn't believe it. I'm looking at these kids, and I'm looking at this cliff, and I'm looking at these kids, and they just, the parents, both of them. One is taking the pictures and the other one is posing. And their kids are walking toward the edge of this cliff. I kid you not. I kid you not. That is a true thing that happened. That is a true thing that happened. So, yeah, I'm not going to I don't let white people cast me like that. They always assume by the way that I look that I'm one way. Assume all you want. I am not a safe Negro. I'm not. I am not one of those palatable black people. I am not. And they always think that I am. They always assume that. And they assume it in a way where they want to take advantage of it. And that's one of the biggest issues that I have with white people. It is. You know, I'm not babysitting your kids. I don't even fucking like kids. I'm not babysitting your kids. But anyway, enough of that. You know what I really want to talk about today? That's not even what I want to talk about, y'all. I took y'all on that story. But yeah, they really will cast you if you allow them. And you have to not allow them. There was someone in the comments that said, you know what? Until you had this discussion and you brought this up, I'm a people pleaser by nature, but I didn't even realize this about myself. Yeah. They expect black people to be in service to them. They do. Pay attention. Pay very close attention. Doesn't matter where you are. Whether you're at work, they expect us to be in service to them. Whether you're in church, whether it's the school, whether it's the neighborhood, whether it's the PTO, the HOA, they expect black people to do the work. I mean, think about it. Back during slavery, they didn't even raise their own kids. They had those kids and they gave their kids to the slaves to raise. Which is the only reason why most of them even had a speck of humanity. Anyway, I digress. But listen, let me tell you what I really want to talk about today. I really want to talk about this quarter jacket movement. The quarter zipper movement. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? It's all over TikTok. And yesterday, and I was just waiting for somebody to do this because I knew it was going to happen. And yesterday I saw the video. I saw a video of a black woman that said respectability politics are not going to save us. And I agree with her. I do. Respectability politics have never kept white people from seeing our humanity. It has never made them rather see our humanity. Look at Barack Obama, one of the most respectable people out there, and look at the way they treated him and Michelle when they achieved everything that they achieved in their life. You know, speaking proper. I mean, if you speak proper, you speak proper. But speaking properly, that's one of the reasons why I no longer code switch. You know, I don't code switch anymore. I don't do it for their comfort anymore, and I don't necessarily have to do it for my own safety anymore. So, but I realize that that's a privilege because I no longer work and I no longer have to, you know, be in their presence in that way. So I don't code switch anymore. Respectability politics, you know, dressing a certain way, you know, wearing designer clothes or, you know, just things that, you know, but back in the day, you know, if you're going to bring respectability politics into it, you have to also acknowledge that back in the day that black people had to dress a certain way because of their safety. For their safety, they had to dress a certain kind of way. You know, there's certain games that we do have to play, you know, and certain, you know, certain jobs call for you to dress a certain kind of way. But the quarter zipper jacket thing, that young black men, that movement, I don't think it's about respectability politics, because I think this is about them evolving. You know, listen, if what we're going to say is that women can dress however they want to dress because it is a woman's right to dress her body how she chooses, then why are we not giving men that same luxury? Why are we not giving them the same permissions? And we have been saying for a long time that we need black men to evolve into better husbands, into better fathers, into better partners, into better leaders. And I'm not saying that this is the thing that's going to do it, but maybe it is. Now, she said that she heard a white man say that the quarter zip movement, I don't know if I'm saying it right, did more for black men than Black Lives Matter movement did. And when she started saying what she was saying, that was the first thing she said. And here's my thing, and it's always my thing. Once again, caring too much about what white people got to say about what the fuck it is we doing. You care too much about what the motherfuckers think and what they got to say. And it goes to show you how much of a hold on us they still have. A psychological hold. When you still worrying about what the fuck they talking about. And what the fuck they thinking. And what the fuck they saying. Stop. Quit. It's not about respectability politics. How come it just can't be about, well, when you look better, you feel better? Isn't that a thing? Why come it can't be about these young black men respecting themselves? Y'all say y'all want grown men to stop dressing in blue jeans and jerseys and gym shoes. You say you want the young men to stop walking around with their pants hanging off their asses. Well, they're wearing a belt and slacks now. What the fuck? Let them grow. Give them the room to figure it out. Who knows if this is going to be the thing that helps them to evolve and helps them move to a path of betterment. Who knows? But maybe it will. Let's give them the room that they need in order to figure it out. Because maybe they are realizing that they're being left behind. They're being left behind by other men of other social groups. And they're being left behind by their own women because black women became the most educated demographic in America. Maybe this is them figuring it out. I know when I clean my house up, I feel so much better. Things just start going better for me when I clean my house up because I feel better with a clean house. And maybe now that they're cleaning themselves up a bit, they feel better. And maybe it'll give them high racial self-esteem instead of low racial self-esteem that so many of us experience. Maybe this is the thing that makes them start looking in the mirror and saying, hey, I am worthy. I am worth it. I am worthy of a high school diploma. I am worthy of a college education. I am worthy of a 6-figure job. I am worthy. And I can do better than what I've been doing. I can do better than my dad did, and I can do better than my dad's dad did. Maybe this is the thing. And of course, y'all know the white boys had to get in on it. You know, they claim they're exhausted. They've got black exhaustion, but I can't tell. I can't tell. Because they always so concerned about what we're doing. So to that sister that kind of put them brothers down, I don't think it's about respectability politics. I think it's about just respectability. Self-respect. Let them have their movement. Maybe it's their time to rise up. Maybe this is the thing that starts it. But I know that as a black woman, I need black men to do better. And I've been saying for a long time that it starts with young black men, our sons. I've been saying it for a long time now. We have to start raising them with a sense of self-worth. Because way too many of them are giving up on themselves way too early. School to prison pipelines, that's a real thing. It's a real thing. And I hate to see it. And I know that they can do better. And I want better for them. So let them do better. And let them do better in peace without black women. Because not only do the opinions of white people don't matter, but the opinions of black women don't matter in this neither. Because this is about them. This is their movement. Leave them alone. Let them have their movement. That's all that I have for today. I know this was a long one. Thank you for sticking with me. If you would like to support the Library Pantry, buy me a cup of coffee, or support this platform, I'll leave my Cash App and my Venmo down in the comments. Y'all have a good day, a righteous day. Don't be nobody's problem today. Help other black people today.